Light on you. Yeah. Oh, we're live. Here we go. Hey, guys. Okay. It is Dr. Paula Ruffin and the beautiful Dr. Erica Peabody.
Dr. Erica Peabody.
And we are here on Chiropractic is Sexy. Oh my
Kenny's
gosh.
like he's like quick draw.
Well, he is Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah. He must jump on before.
Where is everybody, Kenny?
Well, I mean, it is Christmas to New
Well,
Year's
that
week.
is true. This is true. Yeah. I'm going to go open this up on YouTube and see. Let's see. We got, okay. Sometimes it's helpful to see. And there we go. Okay. There we go. Jaden 0428. Welcome. Thanks for being here as a new face on here. Yes, you are. Hey, Kenny. Yes, you almost got us all to yourselves. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button when you come in. Hi, Christy. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. We are, it's our pre-New Year's broadcast, and I'm so glad. So Dr. Erica's been on vacation, resting. And so she said that this is so special that she is taking a little time out of her wonderful, relaxing vacation to spend it with all of us, right?
Yes,
so,
for sure.
Yay. So
actually,
so
fortunately for me, it's raining today. But I would have needed to take a break from the sun if it was sunny anyway. Yes, I am down by palm trees and golf courses and beaches and sunshine, minus the sunshine today so far. It's supposed to get sunny right after I hang up here though. So we'll see.
What's the temperature?
It's only 768 today.
Okay. That is cold. Yeah.
The last few days it's been mid to upper 70s. So, I mean, when it's overcast here, it just changes a lot. And when the rain rolls in, that also changes temperature a lot. So
yeah,
it's been great.
It's just peaceful though, right? I mean, you're there to get some Kenny.
It's not about making you jealous. It is hopefully inspiring a little downtime for everybody involved. Mostly because if we don't take it, it doesn't happen by default. And by default, it's easier to just stay in the mix, stay in it, stay working, do all the things. And that doesn't always serve us. So grow big's here. Hi.
Yeah. I learned that a few years ago. I was just going. And my daughter had to have knee surgery. And it might have been her first surgery. I don't know. She's had 4. But she said, can we just go on vacation before I have my knee surgery, which was going to be in April? And I said, yeah, I guess so. And I was stressed because of like paying for the surgery and, whatever, it was just life stress. So I booked us, it was probably about 4 weeks out. And I booked us to go to Florida for a week to visit a good friend of mine. Her dad has a beach house right on Holmes Beach on Anna Maria Island. It's absolutely beautiful. So I booked us to go. And as soon as I hit the booked button and I knew that I was going, there was like this layer of calm that came over me that I didn't even know that the stress was there, the tension was there.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And then there was something weird happened. My brain was like, you're going to get a break. You need to keep driving hard. But it was in a good way. It was like, oh, you got this, right? Like I knew that because I was going to get a break, I could continue and just go full speed ahead until that break came. And I think that's really important, that if you don't have something to look forward to, that's how burnout happens, right?
For sure. Well, for me, I book a week in around the 4th of July and then a week between Christmas and New Year's. And so I always know that I have that coming. And then in the spring and the fall, I take a Monday off, which includes a Tuesday and a Friday because of how my schedule lines up. So yeah, quarterly breaks from it is necessary in order to show up fully, especially after 20 years. But I've been doing these breaks for almost the whole time, probably not my first year, but at least, 18, 17, 18 years.
Yeah.
Always.
What do you
Because
guys do
just can't do
to
it.
break, to reset,
Yeah.
to relax? What do
Curious.
you guys do?
Throw it in the
Joe,
comments there.
What's that?
Throw it in the comments there. What do you guys do to relax in a year?
Yeah. Yeah. I know, Joe, Joe's busy. Thank you. I was pretty run down. So I had taken, while I just had Monday off this week and I have Monday off next week. I'm in the office 2 days. Part of me is like, I wish I took the whole week off. But the other part of me was like grateful that I can come in and work 2 days because they've been some very profitable days. So that is always nice to take into the new year. So, but yeah, I went home and I worked a half a day Tuesday and just feeling really beat and run down. I think it's like with the solstice, we're meant to hibernate. We're meant to take care of our bodies in a way that forces us to slow down. So we have to really respect our bodies when with these seasonal changes. So yeah, so I laid on the couch, I took a nap, I watched a movie. I'm binge watching, which I've always loved, the border shows. So Border Patrol. Now I'm watching To Catch a Smuggler. I love, it's all the border crossings and the airports and customs and seizing drugs. And it's fascinating, so yeah, so I get lost in that loop. So yeah. So what did Kenny say? As in going somewhere further than up north?
He said he hasn't taken a vacation since 2009.
Oh, Kenny.
You're doing life wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing life wrong.
Yeah.
I always talk to my patients and it's like, people get to the end of the year and they're like, oh, I'm trying to get my last couple of vacation days in, or I got 2 more weeks of paid vacation, but there's not even that many days in the year left to even work. And I'm like, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing life wrong. We are not meant to just keep driving and driving and driving, even though it's always so much easier to keep driving. We're not meant for that. So yeah.
And somebody said this to me several years ago, if you are worried about taking a day off because of financially, right? So let's say you're like, I can't take a day off because I can't afford it. There's a problem. Like that's where start thinking about what are, typically what I find is if I do take a day off, then the income flows in some way, shape, or form. I'm never at a loss. So is it a mindset? Do you need to make a shift in your life in some way, shape, or form? But that thought alone that you can't take time off because you can't afford it, that's stressful. So
yeah, that's running cortisol right through your body. And then you just keep going and going and going. So I'm driving. I know I need to break. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a break too. Just getting outside, walking, stretching. So when I'm down here, I stay at my parents' place. And the first thing I do is walk 1 hour to 2 hours in the morning, usually about an hour and a half. And there's not time at home when I can go for an hour and a half walk, generally speaking. And just that alone is starts to shift everything. And when we feel that shift inside of us, so it starts beyond 20 minutes. In science shows actually that the parasympathetics, once you're outside, get on board after 20 minutes. So anything beyond 20 minutes is great. And when you feel that, that's like your rest and digest, your healing chemicals, your relaxation. It's the parasympathetics are responsible for growth and evolution and immune function and sleep and all the things that we are really looking for in life to move us forward. And when we can't find that time, so yeah, it's so super beneficial just to have the time to just start the day with long walks. So I can hear all your typing.
What's that? You can?
It's really loud.
Oh, it's right next to my microphone. So yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I need a quieter keyboard.
No, I don't. No, I just don't hear it. So
my sister teases me. She's like, you type so loud, it's like clattering. And it's just like clatter. I'm like, can't help it. Yeah. So Eric and I were having this conversation today about, things that we wanted to bring to you, things that we wanted to talk about, stress being one of them. How are you preparing for next year? How was Christmas? How was the holidays? all of that stress. This is just like a seriously stressful time of year. And it's also a time of contemplation. So, and I know Eric and I have had, multiple conversations since she's been in Florida about things that we want for ourselves, things that we're looking for in our business and our relationships. What are we looking to gain for next year? How do we want to do that? And as much as she and I practice what we preach, in the sense that we're not just going to set one big lofty goal in January and then fail in 3 weeks. We're going to continue to start again and start again and start again, because it's never a straight line. It's never perfect. And we know that. So we want the same for you when we have these conversations. Is we want, one of the things, the questions I wanted to ask you is, as you come into this time of reflection, contemplation, what are the things that you look at for yourself and in your life that you want to stop, that you want to start, and that you want to keep going? And if you think about those things, I want to stop smoking. And I want to start getting healthy. Okay, well, you have to stop smoking if you want to get healthy. There's just you can't, those two are completely incongruent. If you're like, well, I don't want to stop smoking, but I want to get healthy. Can't do that. So what do you want to stop? What do you want to start? And what do you want to keep doing that's benefiting you for your life, to give you health and vitality, and really, build you up so that you have many more years of health versus years of sickness. Most people spend the last 20 years of their lives in sick care, in the hospital system, overly medicated, and not living, lives of vitality. So we just want the best for you. So I thought I would throw that question, and you can throw it into the chat, is what do you want to start? What do you want to stop? And what do you want to keep going? So
those three questions are great. And then the other one that I love is what's important now, and then what's important next. So we want to know, like, in the day-to-day, what's happening now, like what do you see in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, and then what is it that you're looking for next? Or what do you want your life to look, how do you want it to look maybe at even the end of the year? And then in the process, to reverse engineer, not resolutions, not that word is, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to say cliche. Also goals, that word is way overused, but what habits can you use? What habits can you change? Can you get up 10 minutes early? Can you add 2 minutes a piece in your day? Can you, instead of like, I'm a continuous and constant gym goer. I've been in the gyms since I was 18. I was in the fitness industry for over a decade. And, I've been yoga teacher training and all the things. And so it's always interesting. I go to a really big gym, and then this coming week, especially starting Tuesday, the parking lot will be packed. And it's like, which is awesome. It's totally awesome. Going to the gym, if I have to walk an extra, few hundred yards, whatever it is, because I go to a really big facility, that's great. But let's not make it for the week. Like, what's sustainable? What are your small wins that lead to big wins? The one thing I talk with my patients all the time about is, like, make it digestible so that you have success. And then when you have one success, that leads to more success, instead of saying something lofty and then you can't make it happen like day one. So then you're like, oh, or day 3, it's finally like, even working out an hour a day. That is a very lofty, it's too much. And then you'll find yourself, you're going to fail soon. But if you said, I'm going to do the equivalent of a 20-minute walk every day, that is digestible. You could even do that at the end of your dinner time. You go out for a 20-minute walk or have a workout. So make it digestible, make it habitual, and let yourself have a lot of success going forward with changing habits rather than just setting resolution or a goal.
Yeah. And schedule.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just pulled this out. So this is my week number 1. I don't know if you can see it, but I have gym in here. I have cold plunge in here. I have my own personal, like, different things that I need to do. I have yoga, but it's all scheduled, but it's also, I've already hit the sign up button on these different places that I need to sign up to take a class. I've already hit that for next week. Like I'm already signed up. So it takes more effort for me to go back in and have to cancel myself out of that class. And this is an every Sunday thing I do this. It's not Sunday yet, but every Sunday I sit down. Like I even left my planner for last year back home, and all I'm doing is looking forward. But like this is the following week. It's already got a ton of stuff in there. I actually use stickers and make it fun and light and bright. So yeah, schedule it all in. Schedule in your 20 minutes walk.
Yeah. Well, and that's I think when we talked last week about scheduling time to think, time to relax, time to be creative, your scheduled time doesn't have to be all about doing something. You do need to schedule your downtime. It's just as important, because that's part of your mental health, is that Peaceful Penguin says plan better. Yes, just plan more. Be more scheduled, be more aware of the time, be very aware of time vampires. So time vampires are going to be, okay, put your phone down. If you, so I'm very much like, so Eric and I are kindred spirits. So I have been I've been an athlete my whole life. I have a degree in exercise physiology. I've been a personal trainer. I've taught aerobics, spinning, the gamut, just like her. And I know what to do in the gym, but I have a trainer, because I want to make sure that I'm accountable to show up every Wednesday and Friday at 9:00. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I do yoga, and there's a class there. And so I had a patient this morning. He's like, I'm starting the gym. He's been telling me for 2 weeks, I'm starting the gym. And when he came in this morning, I said, when are you starting? January 1st. And I'm like, and I wish him all the best, but honestly, I don't think he's going to make it because of that January 1st. Like, why didn't you start a month ago when you told me you were going back to the gym? Why didn't you just join and start going then? Why is January 1st this big, it's just another freaking day, but it's such an important lesson to like, stop getting so pulled into, I have to do this January 1st, like do it now. I want you to do it now. Like, don't wait till January 1st. Go to the gym now. And yeah, I know what to do at the gym.
Don't ever stop.
Yeah.
Just don't ever stop. And even if you fail in a week doing it, let yourself fail and just get yourself back in check. That's all it is. Life is a constant and continuous game of slipping and checking. Apply to the gym, apply to drinking water, apply to getting your chiropractic care, apply to all the things. Like it's always meditation. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Say that again. Life is a constant thing of slipping and what?
Life is a constant game of slipping and checking.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, it really is. And
yeah.
But when you slip off track, off course, off plan, don't get down on yourself. Just check back in the next day. The most wonderful thing about the mornings is it's a brand spanking new day, and it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. I mean, yes, all of our actions have consequences. However, we can just call it a new day and get back on track. So yeah, slipping and checking.
The last line when I did my TED Talk last year, so similar to what you just said, is I said, take action. It's not going to be perfect. So start today and then start again tomorrow, period. Like start today and start again tomorrow is so you're going to slip. But guess what? When you take 3 steps forward and 1 step back, you have still made forward progress, because the next time you're going to do 3 more steps forward and 1 step back. You have a net gain is what you're looking for. You're looking for net gain, not net loss. So as long as you recognize that it's not going to be perfect, just
none of us are.
Just pick it up and just keep going.
Yeah.
So,
one of the greatest things as we're headed into the new year too is not only to make a plan, but actually in the morning. So let's just say you're going to the gym in the morning. Like instead of having any decisions in the morning to make, what am I going to wear? What clothes am I wearing? What shoes? Where are my socks? Where's my hair ties? Like get yourself a little tiny bit of time in the evening and make those decisions so that when you get up and you get out of bed, or if you're going after work, like make those decisions in the morning, make them at a different time than you're about to execute, because then you have less decisions in the way in the process of getting you to where you want to go. Same thing with meals. I chatted earlier this week on social media, because when I got down here to vacation, I went over to Sprouts, which is kind of like a smaller Whole Foods, I would say, something like that. Whole Foods is about 30 minutes from here. It's 45 minutes from home, so that's closer than there, but I wasn't headed down there first. But Sprouts is right across the main highway here. So I went over there and I spent, $100 and whatever, $20 in groceries, and I got eggs, and I got a organic beef and some chicken and like all this stuff. But as soon as I do that, I lose all appetite for anything that I just bought. And I have such a hard time consuming it. So I have another today and tomorrow. And so I put it out there. I was like, does this happen to anybody else where you're like, have such a good plan to eat really well, go to make food? And I'm not a cook by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. I usually just have things that I can put together. So anyway, so people had said, well, what if you cooked at a different time than you're trying to eat? Or what if you prepared at a different time than you're trying to eat? So this morning, I'm an early riser, and I usually get up, I'm listening to podcasts. Sometimes I'm listening to podcasts and doom scrolling. And so this morning I got up, I turned on a podcast, I got going, and then I cooked dinner. Everything for dinner was ready by 7 a.m. this morning. I didn't want to eat any of it. None. Like, don't put any of that in my mouth. That's not what I want right now. Now that I cooked it, now that I dealt with the raw meat and all that. So anyway, now I'm like, that's starting to sound good. I had a little bit for lunch, and it was like, that tastes really good. But it's just the fact of like having less decisions at the point of execution so that your decisions are made ahead of time. And I just had an awesome experience this morning. I made Brussels sprouts and hard-boiled eggs and a meatloaf and all this stuff. And I'm like, now when it comes to dinner time or even lunch before this, was like, that sounds amazing and delicious. And I know I used good products and that, so anyway, less decisions at the point of execution will make for a really, really so much more success.
And it decreases stress.
Yeah.
Also, right. Mm-hmm. So to your point, every night, and I've done this for years, mm-hmm. I have everything that I need to take to the office, because I don't, you think about, you always forget things if you don't prepare it the night before. Mm-hmm. So everything that needs to come to the office, I've got by the door, put it also by the door. Yeah. If it's like tonight, I'll be going to the gym tomorrow morning. I'll pack my gym bag tonight. When I go to yoga, because I have to pack completely different to go to yoga, it requires towels, and all, so I pack those bags the night before, and it's just waiting by the door for me. So I just, I'm out the door. The yoga mat stays in the car. So
your decision about clothes is already taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier that way.
It really is. And so you're preparing things in a relaxed state of mind.
Yes.
So, it does. It makes such
amen to that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's a great point about, just getting things done at times when you're not so stressed. Now, when I shop, I'm usually shop for, a multitude of days. And I am a cook. I love to cook. So when I get home, my problem is I want to cook and eat everything. Okay. So, but usually what I'll do, I'll end up cooking, like 2 meals so I'll cook the meal that I'm going to have for dinner, but then I'll cook another meal that I'm going to have like the next day. Mm-hmm. Because as long as I'm in the kitchen and I'm dirtying things, like it's just such a great, like meal prep is such a great way to stay on track for your health.
I think that's part of it for me too, is I don't like making a mess. So as I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, and I can't help that. So it takes a lot of the joy out. But if I'm cooking 2 meals, 3 meals, something like that, I got really, really inspired. I never thought about cooking like in the mornings when I don't go into work normally until 10 o'clock. So I have sometimes I most of the time I get up at 6. So it was like, instead of doing anything else, like, why don't you get up and then, oh my God, it was freaking brilliant to have everything done by 7 a.m. this morning. It just, I can see that going forward and having so much better just plan for myself.
Like,
even I've been planning.
It's kind of like putting something in the crock pot when
Yeah.
you leave the house in the morning and coming home. And it's literally like somebody's been in your house preparing dinner for you, right? I love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. So I think, yeah, going into the new year, decreasing stress is critical for your success as well. And again, you know, we can say, so yeah, it's more stressful to try to, let's just say, prepare your gym bag before you leave the house in the morning than it is to do it the night before. So we can decrease stress in, you know, the stress load in some ways. And then in other ways, we can't change the stress. So how will you adapt to the stress that comes in? Are you somebody who manages stress well? We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and Kenny apparently lives in a vacuum and has no stress in his life. So I envy that. But so, you know, but we need to make sure that we're managing things. So exercise is a great way to manage stress. Breathing, deep breathing. You can breathe all throughout the day when there's stress. And Eric and I were talking earlier about how people don't realize the stress that is released from their bodies when they come to get adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a patient today, is just such case in point. And she came in and she was in a really bad car accident, and she's been here for a few weeks now. And she came in and she's very like nervous to even, she's not driving yet because she's too nervous to drive. She's got 2 little kids. She can't work. She's got 2 broken hands. Like, she's got a lot going on. And she came in today, and I said, hey, you know, hi, Merry Christmas. And how's it going? You know, just come on in. And she was like, yeah, I just had a stressful morning. And I'm like, oh, you know, and I want to hear some of what people have to say. So, but she got on the table and she's like, and then, and my daughter and my husband, and I can feel it. And when, as chiropractors, when we put our hands on you, and I said, you need to breathe, and I need you to stop talking, and I need you to understand that I care about what you have to say, but I care more about clearing this stress from your nervous system. That's the most important thing. And I'm the only person in your day that is going to tell you to lie down and relax. And she bursted out in tears. I mean, she was holding so much tension inside of her, like this release that needed to take place. I don't know if she would have released that if she wasn't on my table. So, and then she got up and she continued to cry for several minutes. So this is really powerful in how we get you through the shit that you're experiencing on a daily basis.
Yeah, daily. People say, I don't have stress. I'm like, you are absolutely lying to yourself, Kenny included. You're lying. You really are. You're fooling yourself, because our world in and of itself is so stressful just to walk out and go grocery shopping. Like, the energy that's out there. And it's not doom and gloom. Some of it is, but it's not doom and gloom. It's just, we are bombarded with, well, quite frankly, so much bad news. I
love that. He said that before. I have said barren field of giving.
That's so good.
It's so good.
So yeah, yeah, we're fooling ourselves. And the ways that we handle stress is, of course, getting adjusted. That's one of the greatest ways when your body can't manage the stress that came in, much like a car accident, but also chemical stresses, emotional stresses, grief, loss, all that stuff. When it can't process it right away, it'll just store it and torque the tissues, and it holds it in that place to be integrated later. So that's what Paula was saying, is like, her patient had this in her physical body, but then also like the hypervigilance of all the things around her. And yeah, that gets released and moved back through the body and integrated through adjustments, through movement.
And literally just turning on a whole, what's that?
through eating well, through water, through breath, through walks. Simple.
Well, and I'll tell you, sometimes, there's a multitude of ways that I manage stress, but one of the ways, if something stressful happens in my environment, and I'm like triggered and I'm amped up and I'm like, oh, like something just gets to me. I will literally, Eric and I communicate on Marco Polo a lot. It's a little video chat app. And I will often just get on there and just rant. And because I need to dump it, I need to like I just need to dump it. I need to have the anger and flush it, say it, and then leave it. And I think where a lot of people get stuck is they get angry, they dump it, but they don't leave it. It doesn't leave them, and they keep reliving it and reliving it. So it's okay to have your rant. Just understand that you can't hold it forever. Like have a good friend, a family member, somebody that you can just call up and go, can you believe blah? And then just, okay, I'm better now. Like it's a relief to do that.
It's way better out than in. And I started smiling, just giggling, because I use that phrase a lot with my patients, but it's better out than in.
Oh, yeah.
But also, so when I first got into practice, it was like a year and a half in, and someone farted on my table. Fortunately, he was only 5, but it was loud. And I did not have strategy at that time, because you don't know you need strategy until you need strategy. And that's always been my go-to phrase. It's better out than in. So now,
is that where the phrase came from?
Well, I apply to all, that's where it started, but it truly is like anger, rage, grief, all the things. It's like, it's farts. Poop, elimination, all the things. It's way better out than in, because it's energetically toxic inside, much like our waste products are too. All that, it's way better out than in. So put that in your back pocket too. Better out than in.
It's better out than in. And what is it when we adjust these little boys, especially?
My
gosh, the gas that comes out of little boys when they get adjusted.
Not only gas, but God, they're sticky.
Oh,
what's the stick? I had 3 boys
they are sticky.
I think I talked about this weeks ago.
I think you did too, yeah.
Oh my God. There was like 3 boys that morning, and they weren't in the same family. They weren't riding in the same cars, doing the same thing. They were like 7 years old, 9, and like 10 or 11. And I'm like, they are so sticky. Like everything about there's
a sweat and a clammy,
clammy, sticky, candy, sweaty, body odor, body stench, all I'm like, stick. Ugh.
It's the boy. Yeah. I have a little boy
too.
This morning. He's 5, I think. And I'm adjusting him, and I go, did you have peanut butter this morning, buddy? And his mom goes, does he still have it? Literally, like his whole cheek was filled with
it was covered. Like, it's hilarious. I mean, good for them. That's really how life is supposed to be, sticky and gross and grimy, and our immune system's boosted because of all the stick and gross. But also, it's very sticky and gross and weird sometimes too. So
that is hilarious.
So yeah. It's the boys.
It is the boys. What is it about boys?
But actually, sometimes it's the women too. And one patient just said, if I ever fart on this table, I'm never coming back. Just so she told me that in her first visit. I'm like, it's okay with me. It's better out than in. See, it just flows off your tongue once you have it. It's better out than in. It's no big deal. It's better out than in.
Maybe most people need to get it out, which is like a huge cause of most of their issues, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But anger, that too. You know what I mean? Same thing. Frustration, joy, happiness, all that. It needs to our body needs to be a little bit more free flow than what we allow it. And the adjustments really help with creating that free flow too. So yeah.
Well, and what a great point is that joy and happiness.
Try it,
right? Like people don't express joy. They don't express, they do hold that in. Like, can you imagine if you just like, I usually put usually am playing music that I can sing to. I'm singing all day long, and I'm kind of like, my patients kind of know me for that. And they'll start singing with me or dancing. I'm like, yes, like, let's express, let's sing, let's dance, let's experience joy. Let's, shout. And I have a huge space in my office. And so these, like, most of the little boys and little girls too, but they love to run in my office, and they're laughing and the dog's chasing them. And I'm like, it's joy, right? These kids are they're experiencing joy. So we need to take a lesson from kids, right?
Yeah.
They run, they scream, they jump, they laugh, they fall, they giggle, amazing. That's what we need to be doing more of, right?
Yes. You're missing something. Okay, good. I'm glad you're catching these too, because I'm replying to them. Most humans, we all fart. I mean, isn't there a book called Everybody Poops or something? Like, and if you don't, you got bigger problems. Yes. But better out than in. It's better out than in. See?
Better out than in.
And I had it in all day and then farts at night because her inhibitions are down and she's sleeping.
Maybe she's eating too much Miracle Whip. Maybe that's what's doing
Oh,
it.
yes. Yes.
Kenny, you want to be able to get away with Miracle Whip on your cheek throughout the day.
Oh my gosh, to get away with peanut butter on your cheek all day. You could just give it a try. Kenny, I triple dog dare you to walk around peanut butter on your face all day. Just see if anybody says anything. I'm sure you probably can get away with it. You should try. Just give it a try.
And just talk to people in line at the store. Yeah. What a great day. Did you have a good Christmas? It was like
So this will be a mom that'll come up to you.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
My mom used to do that. Ugh. She make me sticky.
That's why kids are sticky. Their moms are licking them.
Yeah, they're licking
on the regular.
Yeah.
So
all right,
funny.
glad this went really sideways. The farts. Today.
I know, right?
So
what are you guys going to do? What are you going to start? What are you going to stop? What are you going to keep doing? And then Erica, what was your ad on that?
What's important now, and then what's important next. Like right now, as we're headed in, what's today, the 8th, I think. Yes. The important things now are like, okay, it's Thursday. I'm like really lost in the week, right? But it's Thursday, and my most important thing right now is to safely get myself home, and then, get up and celebrate with my family for the new year. But then starting into next week, obviously I have my plan getting started. So that's what's important now. And then what's important next is like, what do I want 3 months from now? Like, where are we going to be with our conversations here? Where are you guys going to be? Where are we going to be with our health? We're going to be headed towards spring 3 months from now. What do we need spring to look like? What about this, the summer months? And what about, next year this time and 5 years from this time and that. So what's important now and what's important next?
I think that's great. And it gives you a roadmap, basically, right? So I think it's important to understand that when you're laying out these plans for yourself, you can get microscopic on them, but if it's something you're not used to doing, just start with the big picture and you can fill in the blanks later. And guess what? It can change. It doesn't have, but it becomes a roadmap. And much like a roadmap, maybe you're like, hey, I want to get off of the interstate and I want to take this 2-lane road and I want to go through the back country to get to my destination. So, goals, which I'm with you. Goals are so like, they're so rigid. And
like,
I know, right? It's like, goals and resolutions, and which is why I created Reset Monday. Cause I'm like, stop with the resolutions, just do it, pick it, and move forward through it. And so I love that, what are you going to look forward to? And just don't make it too complicated. I think, and I don't know about you, Erica, but I find like a lot of people who teach and coach, besides us, but these people they make setting these, goals, for lack of a better term. We got to
Yeah.
come up with our own word for that. They make setting up people's futures. They make it difficult for people. I think it's easy to go, geez, oh my God, I'm not doing it right. Listen, if you write anything down, you're doing it right. I mean, you're doing it, which means you're doing it right. So, I just feel like there's too many gurus out there making things too complicated, causes people to just completely turn a blind eye and then not step into their greatness.
Sorry.
I know. I'm not
It's called Fart Proudly. Is that Benjamin Franklin's book? Isn't that what somebody said right
so
here?
funny.
Benjamin Franklin wrote a book about farts. Sorry. You're getting you're getting so serious over there. I'm also got my eyes on the comments.
I think everybody's ready for the new year.
I think so too.
Right?
So another, just one last thing. I mean, I'm on vacation right now, right? And it is important to have those breaks to look forward to, of course. However, I don't know, are you guys finding this as well in your circles that so there's like the Monday doldrums, Sunday scaries lead into the Monday doldrums. We got Wednesday's hump day, and then everyone looks forward to the last 2 days of the week. And it's like, if we're wishing away the 5 days for the 2 at the end, or wishing away this quarter for the next spring break, or wishing away like my next 6 months until I can get to July 4th or whatever, like so much of the media, of our culture rides on the excitement, the vacations, the this, the that. And, life is lived in the mundane. The mundane is more of life is mundane than not, which then rolls back into, then let's make a really good plan for the mundane. Let's make a really good plan for just the rigmarole of the regular week, so that we're at least supporting ourselves. We're at least living as fully as possible. And that we're like taking charge of the mundane, which is like what 95% of life is super freaking mundane.
Yeah, it is amazing. And it's such a great point. So if you are, like you say, if you're like, oh, I'm not looking forward to Monday or whatever it is, then maybe you should change that. Maybe you should find something to look forward to. Maybe, I mean, if I think to myself, I'm not looking forward to Monday, well, that means that I'm not looking forward to coming in and changing lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to coming in and impacting people in a positive way. So if I were somebody who thought that, then I would have to reframe and look at what are the positives of what it is that Monday, or the day that I don't look forward to, what are the positives of that.
Right.
And I do look forward to my days off, because those are my creative days. And I love, love, love being creative. So I would say, if I'm being honest, I do look forward to the days off more than I look forward to being here. It doesn't mean that I place more value on what I do here in the office. It just means that being creative, that is because the more I can be creative, the more I can fuel inside of what's happening here. So,
for sure. It all goes to us. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun for us on the outside of work, because especially for somebody like Dr. Paula and I both, it's like we love doing what we can do to continue to connect community, to continue to spread our message of health and wellness, to be creative with ideas. It's so cool because our practices are incredibly creative as well. And then outside of there, we always look forward to the time when we're not at the office. And we always look forward to the time when we're at the office as well, just because we have really awesome careers. We really do.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best of the best to be people's favorite part of the weeks, to help people express their own life and vitality better. It's so fun. So yeah, it's both and all the above. And for me, this last year, I was just reflecting as I'm down here again, doing the same thing as I did last year, which is walking and doing nothing. I'm reading and planning and whatever. Last year, I started taking Tuesday afternoons off, which means my Tuesday is completely free now. I used to only work in the afternoon, but all I did was fill it up with other work. So it's just taken me a year to realize that I'm like equally as tired, equally as like, that was supposed to be revitalizing, but I have just set myself into this, like, if you're going to sit there, I'll give you something to do thing. And now I'm like, really have such a strong awareness. So I'm curious about my what to do now, what to do next, what I'm going to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing. Like those are big, really loud, not red flags, but like really, really loud parts of my life right now. Mostly because I've had a moment to just sit and be quiet and think about it.
So important because again, if you keep moving, you never slow down to hear the noise of what you're creating, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so important. I think it's such a great lesson for resetting and going into the new year with something different, shedding what doesn't serve and adopting and creating new habits that do serve you, right? So, and I know, hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. There. That's what I was. Yeah. Yes, you should. And, but Kenny, you can only do that if you film it for us. That is the only. That's awesome. I don't even know what I was saying on there, but
he always goes on his I gotta meet this Kenny guy sometime.
It's like unhinged.
When you are talking about something so serious, he's back here at the peanut gallery, throwing around humor.
The peanut butter gallery. He's at the peanut butter gallery. Yeah.
So funny. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, here's the other thing too is what is the message that has filtered through to Kenny from this live today? Apparently that's Kenny's inspiration. Put peanut butter on his face.
Yes, and walk around sticky. See how many things you can get to stick to you. Walk around the world and put some just some stick paper.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, exactly. P squared.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh my gosh, we are derailing.
Which is great. It's really supposed to be, I mean, one of the greatest softeners of into our parasympathetic mode is laughter. So it's all good. Yeah. I think he's our third leg of the stool inside of this whole thing is Kenny's peanut butter gallery.
Yeah. Yeah. Kenny's in the peanut butter gallery. Yeah. What any other final thoughts that you want to share as we go into the new year?
It's such a great question. And two doctors. Oh, there we go. See, now you got it. I know. Stop. Oh, God bless you.
Yes.
Here you go. Okay.
Speak it into existence. Better out than in. Yeah.
Okay. So getting super personal is that we almost lost my older brother about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember driving into the hospital with my other two brothers in the car. And I stopped, or everybody was talking about specific things and whatever. And I just stopped and said, this MFer better live. Like I started screaming from the back seat. This MFer better live. So what that did in that moment, like all that emotion, he's okay. But what it did in that emotion is just, we need to hold close those that are in our life. And we always spend New Year's Eve together because inside of something like that, we were spending New Year's Eve all together as a family before, but now we just make it a huge point. And as you're going into the new year, like just make sure to take a moment, take some deep breaths, be grateful for who's around, be grateful for your health. When we don't have our health, it's the only thing we focus on. And then just be sure to like hug those around you, knowing you get to go into another year with them. That's pretty
Amen.
fucking big. It's big. So,
Yeah.
what
Amen.
about you?
Yeah. I think that speaks volumes. I feel like I've mended fences with some people in my life, only because I have decided, and I think I shared this with you offline, that I can be a little passive. And what that means is that I expect kindness in my world. I expect loving kindness from everybody who comes into my world. That's who I am, and that's what I expect from people around me. And every now and then, and I've allowed certain people to use me a bit as a punching bag, and I would ignore it. I would just be passive about it, because there was that part of me that was like, it's not worth having an argument. It's not worth standing up for myself. It's not worth, the confrontation. And I have realized, based on 3 events that have happened over the past few weeks, that it is worth it. It is worth it to stand up for you. It is worth it to be strong. It is worth it to invest in yourself. It is worth it to value who you are and let others know, show your value to the world, show your value to your family. But because I've been able to take this little bit of a different mindset, it's actually created it's actually created helped the relationships to improve with people that I cared about very much. That it was like, I was willing to sort of walk away, and I didn't want to, but at a certain point, you don't want to be a punching bag anymore. So, it's kind of like when you stand up to the bully, and then suddenly you're respected. So, so I think for me, repairing those relationships meant a whole lot, but it also meant that I had to repair something inside of me that I didn't necessarily think was broken. It was just like, I just wasn't, I was willing to walk away from things instead of standing up and fighting for it. So stand up and fight for you, for who you are, for the loves in your lives, the relationships, your family, and everything around you. And it will be better because you stood up and you shouted it out and said, this is what I want and this is what I expect. So, yeah. So those are my words of wisdom,
Awesome.
as we end with some personal stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, life is a lot bigger when we realize on a daily basis. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So just, contemplate it. This is the time of reflection. So spend a little more time in it if you need to. If you know where you need to go, then just start writing that down. And your story for next year doesn't have to be written today. Again, like, it can just unfold as time goes on. So don't put so much stress on yourself. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Let us know, what are your things you're working on, and how can we help you get there? And also, don't forget that if there's things that you want us to speak on, we come in here and we bring you stories based on what's happening in our practices and what are the most common things that people ask us. But we're happy to be more specific to the audience here. And so if there's things that you all want to know about, then, we're happy to do that too. So let us know what interests you and how can we serve you best in the coming year, because yes, we are going to spin this. Ultimately, we're going to stay doing these lives for sure. But I'm very close to figuring out where it's going next, Erica. I'm not bothering you with the details.
No, you're okay. Yep,
So
you're good. I think I have some write down your own.
Yeah. We write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I have a lead into somebody who knows how to do that as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Perfect.
we will be out on the airways in podcast form as soon as we can. And yeah, so you guys, I mean, there's a lot of just silly things thrown up here and some real questions too. So we're constantly watching those comments. So really feel free to ask specific questions or all the things every time we're here.
Yeah.
So
And don't forget to
okay.
hit the thumbs up button,
Yes,
subscribe to
thumbs
both
up.
of our channels. Please help us grow. And we're just here to get the message of chiropractic health and wellness and help everybody lead the life that you were born to live. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
We appreciate you guys being here. Happy past Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And happy freaking New Year
Happy
to
freaking New
everybody.
Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring us
Yep.
next week. Bring us the best part of your next few days, the weekend. Not if you celebrate New Year's or whatever. Like what was your intention? So bring
Yeah,
that.
for sure. And we'll see you next Thursday, right? Because you'll be back in town.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
You'll be
will.
back in the office. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, we love you. We appreciate you all being here to love and support us as we build and grow and go into the next year with some amazing things that we're going to accomplish. So
Perfect.
hope you are too. All right.
Okay.
Love you
Peace.
all.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.